Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna be talking about my favorite brushes. I've gotten a couple people ask me to do a video dedicated to just brushes, what kind of brushes to use for specific kind of makeup application, specific makeup technique. So I thought I would make this video showing you guys my favorite brushes and the kind of brushes I would recommend to do the certain makeup portions of your face, if that makes any sense at all. Hope you guys have been doing well. Do not forget to subscribe and put the notification button and tap it, put it on, so that it will notify you every time that I upload a new video, so you guys can come on and see and comment and be the first people to see the video. But if you're interested in seeing my favorite brushes and what I would recommend for you to have in your brush collection or kit or makeup, whatever, then just go ahead and keep watching. So I'm gonna start off with face brushes. So for foundation, I have a couple kind of brushes for each section, so I could show you the different variations. It doesn't have to be one specific brush. And before I start even talking about anything, let me tell you guys one thing. Makeup has no rules. There is no particular right or wrong way to use something. It's all what you want to do. It's all what works for you and what you prefer. So even though I'm recommending things or I'm telling you this is what you're supposed to do with this, that doesn't mean you have to do it. That doesn't mean it's the right way. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So just to put that out there, let you guys know, you know, everything that I recommend, everything that I tell you guys is from my experience, but everyone's experience is different. So the best way to learn is to just figure it out yourself and try it yourself to see what you like and what works best for you. But like I said, we're gonna start off with the face. So for foundation, I have these brushes right here. So I have, let me just show you. So the standard foundation brush that you see most of the time would be a Pack Kabuki brush that looks like this, and it's a flat top. Now when it comes to foundation brushes, the one thing you'll notice about all of them, they're all dense. You want something that's a little, not necessarily too firm, but something that is able to buff out everything smoothly and make sure there's no streaks or anything like that. So that's one thing I will say about a foundation brush. I would recommend for it to be more of a condensed kind of brush, nothing that's too everywhere, too like loose, if that makes any sense. So this is the Morphe Y6 brush. This is actually discontinued. I've had it for years. I don't think they have this collection anymore, but any type of flat kabuki kind of brush will work. I really do recommend this kind of brush. It's very easy, gets everything on very smoothly, very quickly. So this is a great brush. As well as this brush, this is more of like a smaller, more of like a dome kind of shaped brush. It's not flat on the top, but it still has that condensed, packed kind of look to it, which is what works best when applying foundation. This brush is still available. It is by Morphe. It's the Morphe M439, so this is still available, and it's an amazing foundation brush. It's very small and cute too, so it's very compact. You can take it places if you want to. But I really like this brush too, and this is the most newest one to me. First of all, look at this brush, it's so cute. This is by It Cosmetics. Like you see, it has that dense, compact look to the bristles of the brushes, which is what blends out foundation the best in my opinion, especially stick foundations. So I really like this. This is the Love Beautifully foundation brush. They usually come out with this every year on October. I think it has to do with breast cancer month, so proceeds of this go to that, and it's a really good foundation brush. It Cosmetics makes really nice brushes overall, so I would recommend checking their brushes out. They are a little bit more pricey, but the quality is amazing and they last you for years. They last you a really long time, so you get your money's worth. So when it comes to foundation brushes, like I said, remember to stick to something that's more condensed, more compact. That way it really focuses on blending out the foundation the best. Next, we're gonna move on to powder brushes. So I have these brushes right here. So they're all different. And I know you're probably like, whoa. So I'm gonna talk to you about these two brushes. You guys have probably seen this brush. You see this brush all the time. This is a brush that I like to use to wipe away my powder. So if I've baked, for example, if I bake or if I want to put powder on my face, I use this kind of brush. So when it comes to powder brushes, you want it to be nice and soft and fluffy. You want it to not be too condensed and compact. You want it to have some movement to it, which is going to allow you to, you know, blend everything in. You don't want it to be as compact and as tight as the foundation brushes. I will say one thing. I prefer synthetic hair over natural hair brushes. All of these brushes I'm going to show you are mostly synthetic. I do prefer that. Some people, it varies. Some people, it doesn't matter. I like synthetic. I feel like it's softer. I feel like it blends things out the best, in my opinion. So yeah, one key thing that matters when it comes to brushes is the shape and the size and how condensed the bristles are. That's literally it. So both of these are powder brushes, but as you can see, the sizes are different. But as you can see, if you look at the bristles, they're both very fluffy, very like soft, very what's the word I'm looking for? It's just very easy. It's not compacted. The bristles aren't super compact. And that's the kind of brush that you want to look for when it comes to powder, because that's what's going to blend and buff the powder in the best. So I really do like these two. This brush is from BH Cosmetics. It was part of the It's My Raye collection. I don't think they have this anymore. If they do, I would recommend to pick up the whole brush collection, because it's amazing. It's one of my favorite brush collections. I wish I got another one so I could have a double of everything, but it came out years ago. And this brush is the Nazanin Kavari. This is by BH Cosmetics as well. This is fairly new. She came out with a brush collection of her own about a month or two ago. I believe they've restocked it, so I would recommend to check her out. I like her brush kit a lot too. Favorite kind of brushes are these kind of brushes. They do a lot and they're just amazing. So, and I'm gonna make sure I write down in the description box below all the brushes I'm talking about, the name, the number, and I'm gonna link some of my favorite brush sets and some of my favorite brush companies and brands, so that you guys can be able to go directly and see what I'm talking about. So if you guys need help looking for stuff, everything is going to be down in the description box below. Next, we're going to talk about blush brush. One more thing about the powder brush. This brush right here I use for contour. It is a little more condensed than the other brushes that I showed you, but it is bigger. So because it's bigger, I do use it for bronzer or contouring. That's what I like to use this for. Like I said, to each its own. I'm recommending you guys what I like to use based on my routine, not yours. So if I'm not sure what you guys are into, what kind of routine you like to do, but these are the things I'm recommending based on what I do to my face. But this is the kind of brush I like to use when it comes to bronzing and when it comes to contour. You want to use something that's big but also kind of, you know, compact, because you want it to cover a larger amount of the face, but you also want it to be like, you know, you don't want it to like take over the whole face, if that makes sense. Like you want it to have some kind of shape to it to where you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm not making any sense, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But this is what I like to use for my bronzer and contour, and this is the BH Cosmetics number 2 brush. This does come in one of my one of a really good brush kits from BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics has amazing brushes. I'm gonna make sure I link some really good kits and brush sets that they have, and they're very decently priced. For as many brushes that you get in a kit, you will probably pay the same for one high-end brush, so keep that in mind. BH Cosmetics has a lot of good brushes, as well as Morphe. So those are the 2 places you're probably gonna see me talk about the most, because that's where I have most of my brushes from. Next, my favorite blush brush is the Morphe E4 brush. I use this every single time I do my blush. Ever since I got it last year, it has been my favorite blush brush, and I have not been able to put it down at all, guys. So for a blush brush, I like to get something that's a little angled. I like it to be kind of compact, but still a little, you know, I don't know what word I'm trying to look for. Still a little, like, it has some movement to it, but it's still kind of compact. But more so, what matters is the shape. This angular shape is going to be able to get in your cheeks the best, and that's what I like for blushes. You can also use something that's a little bit circular, that works as well, but this is my favorite blush brush. It's the Morphe E4 brush. It's really good. Check this brush out if you're looking for a new blush brush. Next we're going to talk about highlighting. When it comes to highlighting, there's a lot of different brushes you can do. One thing I will say when it comes to highlighting, what you want to look for in a brush is this kind of shape, this kind of like tapered in kind of shape. Like you want it to be small. However small it's going to be is up to you, depending on how precise you want your highlight. The bigger the brush, the more area it's going to cover. Just remember that when it comes to any kind of brush. The bigger the brush, the more area it's going to cover in your face. So depending on how precise you want to be when it comes to whatever makeup application you're putting on your face, that's what's going to determine the kind or size of brush that you get. But when it comes to highlighting brushes, I do like more tapered brushes that look like this. They have that, like, it comes out and then goes back in. It really helps you get into the upper cheekbone area, and you know, I just really like these kind of brushes when it comes to highlighting. This is one of the Nazanin brushes that came in her brush set. This is a number 5 brush, and I don't know where I got this brush from. I think I got it from my Ipsy glam bag. I'm not really sure where it's from, but I'm pretty sure you guys can find a brush that looks like this pretty much anywhere. So I like these kind of brushes when it comes to highlighting your face. When it comes to the brows, there's one specific kind of brush that I really rave about and that I like. My favorite is this Morphe M158. It looks like this. It's a dual-ended brush. I like this because I don't have to have 2 separate brushes. I don't have to have one spoolie and one angle brush. It's all in one, so I can just flip back and forth, which saves time. It's easier. It's travel friendly, less for me to pack. I like this brush specifically because of how thin and how I just love this liner part. This is what I use to fill in my brows. It's so thin and so compact, and it keeps its shape. It doesn't like flare out. It doesn't the bristles don't like go everywhere. It keeps its shape really nicely. I've had it for a long time. It's like $7 or $6, something like that. You cannot beat it. It's an amazing brush to do your eyebrows with. You could do liner with it as well. Any kind of angled brush will work. Now we're gonna move on to eye brushes. When it comes to eyeshadow, crease brushes vary. So I have these 4 crease brushes right here. Now, like I said, the size of the brush makes all the difference. However much space you want to cover in your face is what's going to determine the size of your brush. So if you want a brush that's going to really cover a lot of your eye area, then you're going to need a bigger blending brush, which will be something like this. Now, the one thing I will say about blending brushes, they all need to be very fluffy and very soft. They all need to be fluffy and soft. You don't need something that's condensed. It needs to be something that's kind of like that's able to to move around, to blend things out. Nothing that's too stiff. You want something that's easy to move, because that's what's going to help blend better. So that's one thing I will recommend when it comes to choosing a crease brush. Now, the thing that differentiates the type of brushes is how skinny, how small, how precise you want your crease brush to be. For example, if you look at these 3 brushes, they're all very different. So you have this brush right here, which is more fluffy, it's more wider, so it's going to cover more of my eye area. You have this brush right here, which is a little bit more condensed. It is still fluffy, but it's a little smaller, which means it's gonna go more into my crease and be more precise as to where the color application goes. And then you have a brush like this, which is kind of like in the middle. It's still fluffy, but it's still kind of condensed a little bit, so it's not going to blend as much as the first big one will, but it's gonna definitely blend more than the smaller one that I just previously showed you. So what matters is how precise you want to be when it comes to your shadow application. That's what's going to determine how you pick out the kind of crease brushes that you want to apply your eyeshadow with. As far as applying the actual lid color, I recommend these kind of brushes. The flat brushes that look like this, they all look the same. They're very flat. Some can be thin like this. This is very, very thin. Or you can have one that's a little bit more fluffier, but it's still flat. That's all you need when it comes to a lid brush. As long as it's flat, you're good to go, because you're focusing on just laying the color on your eye. So you don't need to use something that's fluffy, because that's what goes in the crease. You want something that's flat, that's gonna pack the color onto your eye. And last but not least, we have these little brushes right here. These little itty bitty bitty brushes. These are more detailed kind of brushes. You have your angled liner brush, which I showed before. You can use this for eyeliner, you can use it for eyebrows, you can use it for a bunch of different things. I use this one for my eyeliner, that's why it's separate. And then I have this little brush right here. I like to use this for more detailed shadow application. If I'm trying to do like inner corner, or if I'm trying to be really precise as to where I'm placing a certain color, you want to use a small precise condensed brush like this. It's going to be able to apply a color exactly where you want it to be and not anywhere else. And that's specifically what I use this for. And you can use this for a bunch of different things. And this, I just like to use it kind of similar to the one I mentioned before, when I'm trying to be more precise as to where it is that I want to apply certain colors or things at. Those are all of my brushes that I use on a day-to-day basis when I do my makeup. Now I have a lot more brushes in my makeup kit, but they're all kind of the same. They fit kind of the same outline. I just want to show you my favorite brushes that I keep in my brush kit that I use all the time when I do my makeup. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and as far as finding the kind of brush that you need to do whatever step of makeup that you're doing. I hope my recommendations are helpful for you guys, and I hope you try them out, because I really do think that you guys are gonna like the stuff that I mentioned in this video. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure that I link all the brush websites and brands and different brush sets, all that stuff I'm gonna link down below, so that you guys can be able to go and check it out and see if you can find something that you like or that'll fit you. Don't forget to like this video if you did like it. If you want more stuff like this, let me know. Comment down below. I would love to make more helpful videos like this. I'm hoping that this helps some of you guys. I know that you guys commented about this. A couple people have, so I made this video for you guys, so I hope it helps you out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.